enough. So I mean, he did mix with, This is him when they played golf on a Monday himself, Tommy Taylor, and
battling for international soccer honours, league champions Manchester United played Bilbao in a European Cup tie. The Spaniards are in stripes. Bilbao scored first. Then a real blizzard hit United, 2 more goals before half-time. Losing 3-0, Manchester came back fighting, and Tommy Taylor scored. Some wonderful football in terrible conditions, and Whelan made it 2 goals in 8 minutes. Far from shaken, the Spaniards piled on 2 more goals, one from a corner. Then a goal by Bill Whelan made it 5-3, and Manchester faced the return match with a fighting chance.
He scored a goal one time against Bilbao in the European Cup. They were losing 5-2, and he scored a goal. He got a ball in his own half and he dribbled and he scored from about 20-25 yards out. It was in snow, and in the second leg they won the second leg 3-0, and his goal counted. But I remember seeing, I was in the Savoy Cinema in Dublin, and
the Pathé News.
At that time it was a news show, the news, and they showed the goal actually, and the whole place erupted in clapping for him. And that was, as I said, there wasn't that much television coverage at the particular time. But I'm not saying there's no television, but there was no football being shown on television at the time. And the only connection we had was actually sports report on a Saturday evening at 5 o'clock, and everyone would have their ears glued to listen to the results. At that time, you wouldn't have known. There was no match reports or anything.
But the Busby Babes was big news, weren't they?
They were.
The Sunday morning papers.
The Sunday papers would have been all right.
Like what Maura said, we were all young then, and when you'd meet some of the fellas, they'd be all doing this to me, Liam, the way he'd be going with the ball and that, So he was very, very popular, he was.
The first player I ever remember him talking about was Bobby Charlton. I remember him writing to me and saying, we have a young fella now who's come on now, he says, and he says he's going to make the whole lot of us sit up. And he said, that's Bobby Charlton. And it's ironic that Bobby then later on said, I always wanted to be the best player in the world, but I knew I would never be as long as Bill Whelan was there. And the two of them appreciated each other so much. But that was the way, and he used to talk about Eddie Coleman and different things. And he could sit there, if we were going on the bus somewhere or something, he would talk about them, He was very appreciative of the skill that was around them, And he used to say, we're all, he says, fighting for a place. Because the way it went in the time of Beckenham and the brothers and all them, they were coming on. Well, the United in Liam's time was like that. There was all young ones, even down to the third team, which is to say the A team, there were first-class players. And he says they're all fighting for positions. But the only thing about it, he says, is there's no animosity.
When he went to Manchester first, who was it, Christy?
Jackie Carey said it.
Jackie Carey said to him, Liam,
don't forget
hold on to your name, because they'll change it over here, because they couldn't get around Liam. Excuse me, you're a Manchester person. They couldn't, Liam wasn't,
Billy came more natural to him.
And so Billy, but we'd never call him Billy.
Although the funny thing about it, if you're talking to Bobby would call him Billy with you and everyone else. He'd refer to him Billy Whelan in interviews or anything. But if he's talking to us, he'd say Liam.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it was great. I mean, everywhere you went on a Sunday morning, you get fellas coming up to you and say the headlines used to be Whelan on the mark and so on, But when Liam went away, I was very good at letter writing, and the two of us had a great. We corresponded, and the banter that went on with Liam. Now, Liam was absolutely great fun, and he'd come home here, when he'd come home on holidays, he'd be sitting on the couch there. It could be 9:30, it could be 10 in the morning, the radio would be on and there'd be rock and roll music, and Liam would say, come on Maura, And there, I don't know whether he was teaching me to jive or I was teaching him to jive, but the two of us would be in the middle of the floor, Mammy would be in the kitchen, and the pair of us would be rock and rolling at all hours of the day, you know.
And now walking up the bridge, this is the bridge actually that was called after Liam. We'll see the plaque in a minute. This was the gateway for Liam to school, to home farm, and to Dalymount Park, where he played his international matches.
See the floodlights from here at Dalymount Park.
You see the Dalymount Park,
yes,
down behind us there, the floodlights. We're coming to the plaque. The plaque on the 8th of December in 2006, Sir Bobby Charlton came over here and unveiled the plaque. I'll read what's on the plaque. To honour the memory of Liam Whelan, a Cabra boy who played for Ireland and Manchester United. A Busby Babe who died in the Munich Air Disaster in 1958, aged 22 years. It was unveiled by the Lord Mayor of Dublin and Sir Bobby Charlton, who came over especially to unveil the plaque. There was a lot of Liam's friends.
There was a lot of Liam's friends and all our neighbours and ex-footballers and everything.
Who had all played football with Liam down the years. It means a lot.
We were very proud. And we were very sad that day.
This bridge
it brought back a lot of memories to us that particular day, but it's lovely to have something called after Liam, that he was so endeared in the area, and people still would talk about where they've been on the day that the crash happened. It will still be here.
Oh, it will still be here long after.
Yes, we're gone. Yes,
and I'd say in the years to come, it'll really gain its Liam Whelan Bridge name for the younger generation coming up. They will just be calling it the Liam Whelan Bridge.